Good morning, everybody. I hope everyone has.
Hello.
I hope everyone's having a good morning.
Wow.
Eh,
Oh, woo.
ooh, ooh,
Eh. Oh, wow.
oh wow. So last week we talked a little bit about Twitch shit. You know all the Twitch shit going down with Twitch.
Mm, mm.
But then the internet's like, wait, there's more.
Hold my beer.
Hold my beer. There's more. So what is it specifically are we talking about today, Abby? Something we both know and enjoy.
The Try Guys.
Damn right, the
We
Try
love the
Guys.
Try Guys.
We do like the Try Guys. So I think, should we talk about the history of what the Try Guys were? Because again, I was in college, I believe, when BuzzFeed was hitting its mark. You know? You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. I would agree. I would like it was starting to peak while I was in college too.
Yeah, same. Like I think it was just a big thing way back in the day.
Mm.
Mid 2010, right? Around the 2010s. Um,
Yeah, or early 2010s.
yeah. Yeah. I'd say that. So, funny enough, I was introduced to the Try Guys because my sister, right? She's like, "You're gonna want to watch this. You're gonna like it," and I did. I really liked it. And then she completely forgot who the Try Guys were when I asked her about the drama. so, so, do you think there's something going on in the world that's making all these? Because it's not just these married men that who talk only about their wives that are getting caught in cheating scandals. You know,
Yeah.
we had Adam Levine and who's that comedian again?
Oh, John Mulaney.
Thank you, John Mulaney, who's
But I don't
also
really watch him.
yeah. Well, he makes a lot of jokes and talks a lot about his wife in his shows,
Yeah.
and then of course he's also an asshole. Maybe it's just a thing now. You can't even trust these married celebrity guys and
Mhm.
shit. No woman is safe because
Mhm.
Adam Levine is literally dating a Victoria's Secret model. Come on,
Mhm.
come on. Anyway, no woman is safe. Is just what I'm saying. So sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself because I'm
Oh,
already pissed. Hmm?
and like I bet you haven't heard this. Like on top of that, like 2 days after like all this Ned Fulmer shit was blowing up, my FYP on TikTok is just like one creator's like, "Oh yeah, my FYP is blowing up over Fulmer.
Mm-hmm.
Boy in the band may be a pedophile.
Who?
What's his name? Dave? I think his name's Dave from Boy
No.
in the Band.
No way. I love Boy in a Band. You're kidding. Hold up. Hold up.
I don't know, but like
Breaking
it popped
news.
up suddenly.
Breaking news. Hold up, everybody. I
And
need a moment. I need a moment. This can't be happening.
his name's Dave, right?
No. Oh, come on. Seriously?
Also, is it like legitimate? We should probably put up a trigger.
We don't. I haven't heard about it. I would like to research more because again, I do like Boy in a Band, and this came out. There's a video about it about 6 days ago. That
Mm-hmm.
on,
Is
stop it.
he a pede or is it a he?
These are allegations, but again, these are just
Allegations. But what was his face? There's a guy that used to play with Fry a bunch. And I don't remember who it is, but he got into a lot of hot water um because he was like engaged and things like that, and he was kind of catfish. Um, like the girl told him it's like, oh, I'm 18, and when reality she was 16.
mm,
Um, and he ended up being like a hemophile, but
I don't remember.
like there is a difference.
I'm reading everything right now. I'm just
How
uh
about
fuck.
you knew. Like, legitimately, if my FYP is getting this, I figured yours
No.
was too.
Mm-mm. Then again, I haven't been on TikTok in about a week, and I only see the stuff that you've sent me. But other than that,
Oh,
I haven't
fair.
really been on TikTok. I've had a really busy week. I'm not gonna lie, I had a very busy week this week. Um,
Yeah.
but now things are kind of hit its stride, so now I should definitely check this out. This sucks. I actually do like Boy to
Hmm.
Band. I know Dave. Ah.
Yeah. My husband likes them too.
Oh, damn it, Nasium. There are more than a few cases where he knew they were less than 18. It was kind of a serial thing. God, are you serious? Like, he's worked with a lot of YouTubers that I really admire. I listened to his
Yeah.
music. Oh, man. I literally listened
Hmm.
to a song he did with Jaden this morning. Oh, man. It sucks.
Oh, fuck.
I'm so
I'm sorry.
sad. I'm so sad.
Whoops.
Breaking news. My heart is broken. Again, I can't trust anybody. Don't ever meet your heroes. Don't even meet us. You're going to be disappointed. We're just going to be boring nerds. That's pretty much it. With ADHD, who would probably talk your ear off about Splatoon, which we're talking about later today.
Probably. Unless Kumo comes in and is like, Moon Knight, and then it's.
And then
Oh,
Moon Knight,
yeah.
yeah. Oh god, this fucking sucks, dude. I can't be a fangirl for anything. Like, do you remember? Okay, a little bit, a little bit about us. We are big fangirls about a lot of things. We just love fangirling. And now
Yeah.
I feel like I can't
We're.
fangirl for anything. Ugh.
No. You can't.
This is why I
Like, it's
prefer
kind of
fictional.
upsetting that it's just like more and more people just fuck shit up.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
And I've mentioned this in previous podcasts, and I wonder if it's because people are always going to be shitty and there's no hope for humanity, or if it's because, like, the globalization with the internet and everything,
Yeah.
and internet celebrities, and this whole new culture that's being developed and cultivated, and people not knowing how to cope with that.
Maybe. This
But you
sucks.
see, you know where I'm coming from because I've talked to you about this kind of shit
Yeah.
all the time.
Mm. Yeah. No, I know this is something we've talked about before and at work and stuff, but like, god dang.
So it just makes me wonder if this is just like human behavior is always going to be just shitty, or if it's just like a power trip that people are having to learn the hard way to deal with. Like, this is the first generation of, or first two generations of internet fame,
Yeah.
and just the celebrities just don't know how to cope with it.
Maybe. Maybe. Yeah, I could see that. So, Nauseum, it does suck to get much of it dumped all at once, but I do agree that it's good that it's being called out for sure.
Agreed.
Um,
Agreed.
I was
No,
telling this
I
to
would want
Abby.
to know. I don't want this to continue.
Yeah, no, for sure. I was telling this to Abby earlier today. Um, that what was it? Last year or maybe 2 years ago, maybe before the pandemic, we had a summer where this exact same thing happened. It was one story after another, after another, after another of all these allegations of people being shitty, like just internet people being shitty, all that stuff. Sorry I'm late. What are we talking about? So fucking I
Internet tea.
yes. So well, at first we were starting with the Try Guys, which we'll get back into. But then Abby dropped the bomb that Boy in a Band is an alleged hebephile, and yes, it's hebephile. I saw that it's
Okay.
yeah. I looked at they say hebephile in an article. Hebephile. So with minors, it just as young as 15 years, allegedly. I should still say
Allegedly.
allegedly. And I love Boy in a
But like
Band.
we've seen, God, like I can't. I know there's been at least one or two, but I honestly can't remember the last time like an alleged rumor started about a celebrity that didn't end up becoming true.
This just makes me mad. Like I'm just so mad. Never meet your heroes, kids. And if we're your heroes, we're so sorry.
Mm. Yeah, you need to reevaluate that.
Yeah, yeah. We're kind of all over the place as always. Um
We might consider anti-hero.
yes. Yeah. chaotic, chaotic duo. Um,
Yeah.
I will say though, uh, I'm glad I know about this because again, it sucks always. It always sucks, but I don't
Yeah.
want it to like. I need it needs to come out. I don't
Hmm.
want to. I don't. I just don't want to support people like that. Now, his I think is a little bit more. I think it's a little worse, maybe to an extent. No, yeah, it's hebophilia
It's
than
yeah,
the
it's
try
worse.
guys. Yes, because okay, let's get back to the
It doesn't matter if he's in a relationship or not. It's the fact that they're minors.
they're minors. Yes, and more than one apparently minors.
Yeah.
So yes, I would say that
Like
this.
it's unforgivable with Ned because it's just like his wife and two children.
Yeah, that's true. It just sucks.
But like Boy to Man is just like there's no excuse for that. We
Mm-hmm.
also actually don't know the relationship and agreement between Ned and Ariel.
That's
Like we
true.
don't
But again, it's
like my only argument for like Ryan Haywood from formerly Achievement Hunter is that we genuinely don't know what kind of agreements he had with his wife. We don't know what Ned had agreements with his wife,
well
but it's
from
still
certain.
not okay that he was in a position of power over Alex.
Well, there is something about that with the agreements of his wife is that they no, they weren't in an open relationship. If you were wondering,
Mm.
apparently not. Apparently, someone from the I think one of her close friends told Ariel what happened. So no, it wasn't. It's consensual in the terms of the coworker and Ned, but not. I don't think
Mm.
Ariel knew about it at all. Um,
This is one of those instances where it's unethical polyamory.
yes, if you could even consider it polyamory, because again, if it's cheating, it's cheating. It shouldn't be considered polyamory.
Yeah, I mean, fair.
Yeah, because again, that gives a bad view of what a polyamorous relationship is. Does that make sense? Um, but again, we don't know anything. And I will like to say that a lot of these speculations in like drama channels or TikToks or whatever that would
Hmm.
speculate things, they speculate it in a way that is very, like, I guess, traditional in the terms of,
Yeah,
man and wife, and maybe there is a polyamorous relationship. But from what I've
yeah.
seen, they've explicably, it was monogamous, I think. Um,
Exclusively monogamous.
Thank you. Yes, exclusively monogamous. And I do want to talk about that for a little bit because it was a fan that caught Ned Fulmer and a coworker by the name of Alex uh, at a Harry Styles concert, and they took pictures with them. And
Well, they were the one to report it.
no, no, they didn't
Because
report it
apparently Ned was taking photos with other people, like
with
fans.
fans, but it wasn't that was reported because the one that was reported was that he was in a club with this person.
Mm.
And I know it's like a lot of drama, but can I just say that everyone who was like playing devil's advocate was saying, I mean, it could be just any other generic white guy.
I mean, like that's what I told you.
I
I'm like,
know it is, but it's true. It could be
there is.
like a generic white guy.
That was
Oh
my
gosh.
argument. What Tuesday?
Yes.
Like Tuesday morning or whatever. Like we kind of knew, like with how it was gearing up and everything, that it was like the allegations were going to be true.
Mm-hmm.
But like I tried to be like, I mean, Miner's devil advocate. He is a generic white man.
We are talking about the Try Guys, who are YouTubers who used to work for BuzzFeed, but then branched off, created their own company, and they're actually pretty big. Like they're really big on in terms of.
Kumo, you would actually know Eugene from the Try Guys before anything else.
Yeah, you
Eugene
probably
has
do.
like done commercials. He's done like
He's been in cameos and
he's a
shows and stuff.
drag.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been in a lot of stuff. And
Hmm.
the Try Guys actually were supposed to have like a Food Network show. and the final episode
Yeah.
was supposed to be like Wednesday or something,
Mm-hmm.
and got pushed back to like Friday. I don't know to if it was to edit anything. I don't watch
I think
TV
it
work.
is.
I
I think
watch
it is.
cable.
Like it sucks that they and I feel bad for the other guys who started the company because, this is something that they worked so hard to do, to be like on mainstream media.
Really hard to do.
Yeah, to be on the mainstream media, and then one guy ruined it for everyone. Like I
Hmm.
really hope that they can pick themselves up, like back up. I
Yeah,
really, really hope they can do that, like to pick themselves back up and move on and grow as just the try being TRI 3 guys.
yeah,
Because I do think that it would help their brand a little bit more, in my personal opinion.
yeah.
But I do feel bad that it was one guy with a coworker, and as even though like they said, he said it was consensual. It doesn't negate the fact that he was in a position of power because he was her
Mhm.
boss. And if
Well,
go
I
ahead.
wouldn't necessarily say that he was her boss. That's that is the most simplistic way to put it that like people who aren't aware of the Try Guys can understand it.
Mm-hmm.
He was a partner of the company. The company is split in four ways. Alex works directly under one of the other partners.
Mm-hmm.
So not technically her boss, but like still a position of power. He is still a partner of the company. It is still a power dynamic that is
Yes.
not appropriate.
Yes, definitely not appropriate. Um, and I don't want to say that it's just like I don't want to make her out a victim, the other woman. Because the only victim here is definitely Ariel and her two kids and the
Yeah.
Try Guys
Well,
company. But there's other things
yeah.
about that. I do want to state that because she was also in a relationship. She was engaged. She knew this guy for over 10 years, her fiance. She knew him for over 10 years. And
Yeah.
they were engaged. Um, and that's also how a little bit of the news broke out was because her fiance, Alex's fiance, deleted every single picture they had of each other on his Instagram and then completely just what is it?
More
Deactivated.
specifically, like people started like really catching on to this. It's like I
Yes.
think people were starting to hear the rumors, but when they went and checked on Alex's fiance and saw that he had privated his Instagram account,
Mhm.
removed all her photos, untagged himself from her photos, like unfollowed her, all that stuff, people started taking this a lot more seriously.
Agreed. And like I feel bad for her fiance because again, his life was ruined too. He thought he was going to get married, and like this was just taken aback.
Yeah.
It sucks. It sucks, especially from someone who you thought you knew for over 10 years. Like it sucks. My heart breaks for
Yeah,
them.
no, it's awful.
Hmm. But I don't. From what I've seen, and like again, with any person in this kind of position as a company, it's going to be hard to kind of move on from this. Like
Oh yeah.
how do you move on from this? And I do appreciate that the Try Guys are doing the best that they can to try and move on from it. Because
Legally what they can do.
yes, that's the thing. Legally what they can. Because a lot of speculators who probably don't know business are like, well, you should quit or you should fire her or do something. It's not as
Like
easy.
we want answers. It's
Yes.
like a very parasocial relationship kind of
That's the
thing, and
thing,
it's
the
like
parasocial relationship. My
I
goodness.
want to know because I'm nosy as fuck, but I
Mhm.
know I've gotten to a point in my life that I understand. I'm like I have no right to that information.
Mhm. Mhm.
So
My
if they come out with that information, fine and dandy. If it's 10 years from now, hell yeah, I'll look back as like, ooh, some delicious tea. But like I've had to come to that point in my life where it's not my information.
not it's not
It's
even
not my
that.
story.
In the parasocial relationships, we
Hmm.
have a lot of fans or stands or
Hmm.
whatever who are telling Ariel what she should or shouldn't do in a situation like that. And I'm like, okay, I understand that you think you know what you're doing with like by saying, "Oh, Ariel should just dump his ass," or they're like making her feel guilty if she doesn't leave him. Like,
Right.
I get that you all have your opinions on it, but
Right.
again, she has two kids. It's not as black and white. She has
Two
two kids.
young kids as
She
well.
not she's also a part of the company. She's like she had a book with this guy, like with Ned, and a cookbook, which is super
There
cute.
was a podcast.
There was a
I don't know if
podcast,
that's
and
still.
yeah, like it there is so much more on the table than I guess us normies realize, I should say.
Yeah.
um
I would say outsiders, because in reality, we're just outsiders.
Absolutely. But and again, I think it's like the parasocial relationships where they think they can tell them what they can and can't do in a situation like that, and that's not cool. Calm yourselves.
It's not.
They don't know you. They
Well,
don't.
like, girl power, I have her back kind of situations. Like,
Yes.
dump his ass, ma'am. You are too good for him. Go after someone better than that. You deserve better. But, like, I also understand it's like, that may not be what she wants
Yeah.
or needs to hear right now. This may still be
Exactly.
way too raw for her to hear it.
It's not even that. I've read comments on like the videos that are like,
Yeah.
you know, she's gonna stay with him. Like she needs to stay with him, or in a sense of like she's so insecure that she's going to stay with him. It's not her insecurities. I mean, of course, again, rumors of her own insecurities come up, but y'all need to stop that. Stop with that parasocial bullshit. Like this is a
Yeah.
family situation. And I get that Ariel, who is much more mature than a lot of the Try Guys in terms of like how she thinks, she's thinking about her family. Because this
Yeah.
is literally ruining her family. And these parasocial relationships telling her what she can and can't do, or like chastising her about it in the comments. She don't want to hear that. She don't know you. Bitch,
Yeah.
please. Sit your ass down with that. Anyway.
And it's one of those things that's like, my joking is like, dump his ass may come
Yes.
across as way too abrasive. Like,
No,
you knowing
I
me, our
understand.
listeners knowing me, like, dump his ass would know that it's like, it's meant to, like, kind of give her confidence boost, make
Yes,
her feel
yes.
empowered, kind of situation like that. But I
Mm-hmm.
know firsthand that I had someone say that to me, and
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really know them, and it just came off way too abrasive. And I'm like,
Exactly.
that, I don't need to hear that right now.
Yes, exactly. Like they between us two, you and I,
Mhm.
we'll talk about it and be
Mhm.
like, "Fuck that dude, fuck him in the ass." And then, what was
Mhm.
it? Young Gravy, the whole thing with Young Gravy.
Oh,
I laughed. I'm not gonna lie.
okay.
I laughed at that.
I didn't really know Young Gravy. I still don't really know Young Gravy. I only know Young Gravy very loosely from TikTok. So go ahead and kind of give us like a quick rundown
Okay,
about like
so again,
Young Gravy's reputation.
so he is a musician. Okay, he is a
Uh-huh.
singer, rapper, whatever. Young guy who is known for liking a lot of MILFs, like the
Mhm.
Young Gravy, okay? A lot of his songs are about it. And he gained his popularity on TikTok because a lot of young girls will post their single moms on TikTok and be like, hey, Young Gravy, like my mom's hot, don't you think? Kind of thing. Well,
Mhm.
there is a situation with Addison Rae's mom that he actually took her to the what was it? Some award. Was it MTV Music Awards? VMA VH Awards? I don't know,
Oh,
something
yeah.
like a grant, something like
A
that.
red carpet event.
A red carpet event. So
Oh,
he's all about the MILFs, right?
yeah.
Someone tagged him in a video, a TikTok video, where Ariel is first of all, Ariel's looking gorgeous, not gonna lie. She was looking so she was feeling herself in some of these photos. You can tell. She looked gorgeous. They tagged Young Gravy, and Young Gravy responded because she's like newly single, MILF Young Gravy, and Young Gravy's like, yeah, that just fuck it, the fucking he was fucking responded, which of
He's
course,
followed her.
yeah, he followed her, and which of course makes me laugh because I mean, again, I think that's super good for her to boost her confidence, you know.
Mhm. Agree.
Um, because it's again it's just something funny with Young Gravy. I don't think it's ever taken seriously, and at least for me, I don't take it seriously, but I do think it's
Right.
very funny that he did that, and I do think that it helped allow Ariel to get a boost of confidence. Because a lot of the TikToks too are boosting her confidence, like things that would boost her confidence. Like she's gorgeous, you know,
Yeah.
super successful, has a cookbook kind of thing. Like it's she. I hate to say it, without her, Ned doesn't really have a personality. Even in the
Right.
videos, she carries herself with more personality than Ned does. But again, Ned was not. It was my least favorite Try Guy. I'm just gonna state that. Maybe I'm just a little biased. Maybe that's it.
Um, can before we really move on, and while we're on this very specific area of the conversation, you sent me a TikTok. It was the funniest fucking thing, and it was insulting Ned Fulmer. And the best one was
Oh
that Ned
yes.
Fulmer is so basic and so bland that if he was an ice cream flavor, he would be Ice Cube.
Yeah. I love it. Can I just say, some of the insults on TikTok are just top tier, top tier insults.
Okay, that's not just regarding Ned Fulmer though. It's like
No, no,
TikTok is vicious with its insults.
they're so clever, and I can
They
appreciate
are
that.
so clever.
They're very clever, and I can definitely appreciate that. But yes, I do remember that. That's a good fucking insult. But anyway, I do. I guess moving on to the next topic before we do, I do hope that Ariel, you know, is in a better place for herself. Fuck Ned, but you know,
Yeah,
for herself and her family. Same goes with the
right,
Try Guys. I hope they're in a better place as a company and they can just cut the dead weight, move on, and grow and be better. Like,
right,
just, I hope that this would just allow them to just continue to grow. Because again, as it sucks, it's bad publicity, you know, but it's still publicity, and they could use it to magically make them just a lot better as a group. Because again, Ned wasn't the most didn't have much personality in the group.
he really did. Like everybody
That's my
bringing
opinion.
like doing like compilation videos and TikToks of like cringy or things Ned has said that didn't age very well. It's just
Yes.
like going back and watching it in this context is like people are right.
Yeah, yeah, no. I've always thought that. Like, other than the competitions, you know, because he gets competitive with
Yeah,
especially Eugene. Other than those, like, he really doesn't stand out much. That's it. Because Eugene's just good at everything. Anyway, uh, wow, brave choice giving your opinion. Yes, yeah, I had to state it. I had to state it.
yep.
He's the least favorite of the Try Guys, at least to me. Um, but yes, I do want to see how they will handle this going forward. Now, the next topic is something we've been holding in for God, weeks. Weeks? Yes.
Yeah, weeks because we wanted to at least wait until after the first Splatfest, like full official Splatfest,
Yes.
um,
And I
and
have
see what was
spicy
happening.
opinions on that too. So again,
Hmm.
we have been, or at least I have been talking very positively um,
Hmm.
about Splatoon, and it's I still do. I still love Splatoon. Don't get me wrong, but I think
Yeah,
this particular Splatfest has really shown me their weaknesses, if that makes
agreed.
sense. Um,
Because
because
at this point we have had the full game experience.
mm-hmm.
Like
So
we haven't 100%ed it, but it's like
no,
everything to that needs to be experienced in Splatoon we have experienced.
yes. Um, and I hate to say it, like it's all of this. I think is geared more towards multiplayer and the weapon choices, but we'll get into a little bit more specific. So for you, Abby, when you first started playing Splatoon, as to now, what are the some of the things that have just stuck out to you in your personal opinion of they need to be better. They need to update this for sure.
So we're specifically talking Splatoon 3,
Yes,
correct?
yes.
Um, First and foremost, at this point, I've mentioned it to Chelsea. I've mentioned it to my family in passing. My family has no idea what the fuck a Splatoon is, by the way. My parents are old and my sister doesn't play shooter games. She'll do dungeon crawlers, but not shooter games like this. Um, it feels like an incomplete game.
Mm.
Um, I think I mentioned it in a tweet I posted yesterday or
Mhm.
something,
Mhm.
last night, that they're very, and I even mentioned this at the very beginning to you and Chelsea and things like that, that this feels like they are trying to make Splatoon 2 or Splatoon 3 very similar to Animal Crossing New Horizons. And like, I get that's where they're like aiming very social video games for Nintendo.
Yeah.
That's fine. But you can't exactly do that with Splatoon because it is a shooter game,
Mhm.
like a multiplayer online shooter game first and foremost. And you don't really have to like maintain that 2 year attention like Animal Crossing needed to have. Because I don't want to have to wait 2 years to have my full game.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Because they announced in the direct that updates would be coming with weapons.
Yes.
That more weapons will be released in future updates. We haven't had an update yet. We're very limited. Like I think we only have like a third of the weapons we had in Splatoon 2, and they're shit.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
I get that there are players who would naturally select the weapons that are already available,
mhm.
but there are reasons why we had alternate side and ults
Mhm.
for multiple, like most of these weapons is because not everybody uses that weapon in that way.
Yep. I I think it was more prominent again when I was playing in the Splatfest
Yeah,
because for a lot of the Splatfests, the ultimate like the ults for like what is it, turf war was so important because people were very aggressive, and so you need kind of
yeah,
sort of aggressive ults. Um,
yeah.
and it for me, just like you said, the weapons choices suck because I had was it the Booyah bomb that covers a huge amount of area, and it also could
But that's
kill.
a good ult
It's a
too.
fantastic ult that could also kill like a lot of the players players.
Yeah,
But I had like I've been on teams where or playing against teams that had two or three people I think with the dualies that had that I believe they didn't shoot very
yeah.
far, right? It's like the dualies themselves kind of suck, but they used it for their ults.
They're they dualies are meant to like get up close
Mm-hmm.
and evasive and fuck you up that way. They're very very fast is what they are.
Yeah, but like other than that, it's hard to play. They also have the booyah bomb, which is what I used with the
Mhm.
spy umbrella,
Mhm.
where you shoot like a shotgun blast ish thing, but you also have a
Yeah.
shield. It is so slow trying to ink your turf.
Yeah.
Doing that, but again, I only use that not technically to ink my turf, but to ink enough so I could use the booyah bomb. That's it. And
Right.
like the weapons did suck. I feel like the rollers are so much slower than they were
Yeah.
in two. Like the
Yeah.
rollers
Yeah.
are so slow. Even there's one roller that is so annoyingly slow. I think it's like the
Mhm.
some top tier roller. You have to be higher level to get it. But my God, you're
Yeah.
so
The
slow.
top tier rollers are really really slow, but they do a lot of damage and do a lot of bait.
Yes, but they're so
But
slow that
I
there's no point
agree
in me
with you.
using it. Like I'm so behind and inking my turf that I don't feel like I should use it at all. Like it sucks. I've been using buckets, but even the buckets suck. I've been
Yeah.
using one particular bucket, and I've used it so much I even got like a little hollow sticker for it.
Yeah.
But yes, I feel like the rollers are built more like Splatanas than the Splatanas are. Agreed. The Splatanas
Mhm.
also feel slow to me. Um,
Oh.
I don't know why, but at least the Stamper Splatana felt slow, and that's supposed to be a top, like a uh upgrade to the regular Splatana. It just
Yeah.
moves slowly. Everything moves so slowly, and it's such a hindrance. It's so annoying. Um,
I'm not able to find that universal weapon for me. Like,
yeah,
y'all
same.
know that when I found my bloblobber,
Mm-hmm.
like my bucket, that's what I would use. I would use that for turf wars. I would use that
Mm-hmm.
for literally any of the ranked battles. Like, that's the weapon I use. And I'm like, I am completely unable to do that. I have to switch weapons for every single mode. I use like the spray gun for
Yes.
turf wars. I use a bloblobber for what is it, splat zones. Like I use the brush for rainmaker.
Tower
Like
control,
I'm
baby.
still struggling to figure out what weapon to fucking use for tower control.
Yeah.
Fuck clam blitz. Just gonna go ahead
Fuck
and put that
Clan
out there.
Blitz.
Fuck,
I don't play Clan
fuck
Blitz.
clam.
Fuck Clan Blitz. Also, yes,
But like
Kumo.
I don't have my universal weapon.
No, I agree. It's so hard. The roller feels like a heavy slow sword, and the Splatana that should be a sword feels like a mid-range weapon. Yeah,
Hmm.
that's the best way to describe it. And I thought I was be
And that's
very
with just the
excited.
weapons we have.
Mm-hmm. And I thought I'd be very excited for the Splatana. I really did. But the first Splatana, like that looks like a windshield wiper or something. I mean,
Hmm.
that looks fine. Like it looks like it plays out fine, but it does barely any damage. If you were to do that with a brush, you're fucked with the brush. Like the brush will fuck you
Yeah.
over. And like it shouldn't be like that. Like the brush does more damage than the Splatana should as a melee weapon. It
Yeah.
make it make
But
sense.
the brush has a variation of the dualies, though. It's
Yes.
meant to be well, most of the brushes anyway are meant to be super fast, get you up close, and very aggressive.
Yeah. But it also
Uh,
leaves a trail for your teammates to follow because that's what I did with you, in
yep.
Rainmaker. Like, what does the Splatana do? I mean, come on. I think they do need to tweak
I
a lot of their weapons. Like, they really need to tweak their weapons. Um,
But it's like it's frustrating that it's just like there was an ult, a brand new ult that I didn't even know fucking existed until I was talking to Judd. If you
oh,
talk to
really?
Judd in the lobby, he'll give you like some explanations about the game and things like it's like, oh, check out gear, check out like
Yeah. Like,
Alterna, like
mm,
go do stuff. He will also put you in like a little simulation so you can test
yeah.
out weapons and ults
Like a
and side
tutorial.
weapons and all this stuff. Yeah, it was just like it's a very minimalistic, very fast tutorial. Um, and it's not like bombarding you with everything.
Mm-hmm.
He has me doing old, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? How do I not know what this is? Because it's I don't have a weapon selection that would use this. I
Mm-hmm.
don't use every single weapon. So I don't like using the dualies. I don't really like the grenade launchers. Like I will not be using a sniper rifle ever. I should never say never because if we ever get more A towers, I would probably
Oh.
grab a sniper.
um, but
But
yes.
like where is this ult? Like what weapon is
Yeah.
this ult with?
I also want to state because I'm focusing more towards Splatfest because a lot of news came out around
Mm.
that time with Splatoon that there are hackers now.
Yeah.
Which why like what is the purpose? What is the purpose of hacking your way to victory? Like because in the end it's just a game. You're not getting money out of it. You're not playing competitively like in I mean like how other games play competitively with actual like
Yeah.
money on the line. You're just why hack? I hate to say it because you're hacking the hackers or whatever are hacking the game so they can use their ults immediately. I just it sucks. I think I had one instance like that. Um,
Yeah.
in I for one game because there was a was it wasn't Booyah Bomb. It was the Tri Tornadoes or something like that. It was
Oh,
constant. I had it on video.
Trizuka.
Yeah, it was constant over and over and over again. It was so, and it wasn't like one like immediately one after the other. It was
Hmm.
just soon. It was too soon to have it been used. That really it was. I was like, yeah, this doesn't make sense that you've already had it
I mean,
twice.
you probably do need to check what his gear was because there's um abilities
Mm-hmm.
that allow you to like level up your ult faster. You also may need to double check and make sure that there weren't two members on the same team
Mm-hmm.
with the exact same weapon.
Yeah, I'll check because I have it on stream. But I was like, this is kind of odd. Very quickly, one after the other. But okay. Again, the hackers got me paranoid. Like it
I
sucks.
mean, no, that's fair. There's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with that. It's like I could be
And
wrong, but there are considerations.
yes, but and the only way that Splatoon could be able to combat it is by telling us the players to just report. You know. So it sucks that that's a thing that happens on Splatoon. Like it's sad. It's a sad
I mean,
situation.
there's only so much the developers can do in situations like that, though.
Mhm. That's true.
Hackers are gonna hack.
Hack
There's nothing
no
you can do about it.
Yeah, it's true. I think it's just when they announced it before Splatfest, it really put me off. Another thing,
It was right before Splatfest or
yeah,
right at the very, very, very beginning of it.
yeah, and again, it put me off a little bit. I was like, fucking hackers. But again, like you said, there are hackers in every game. They'll do
Yep.
something. Um, I also want to say, for me, the one thing that I couldn't stand was the connectivity issues that kept happening.
Yeah.
Like that So I think I told you I didn't even play most of Splatfest on Saturday night, I believe.
Yeah.
First of all, I wasn't on a team. Okay, I was Team Grub, but I wasn't with you on Team Gear like you and a lot of our other friends were, right?
Yeah. You were in our group. You were a solo player.
I was a solo player, and I thought, okay, because of the first time, the demo Splatfest, I had
Yeah.
maybe one or two people with me, and it was a nightmare to be
Yeah.
like queued up for a game. It was a
Hmm.
fucking nightmare. And
I
I,
will admit, though, you we've played together where we've had like 500 plus second
yeah,
count.
make it make sense. But like
They
but again, it
I
would
don't
be
know if it was just for gear or if Grub experienced it as well, but like I don't think we ever got that high. We still got
no.
into really like unreasonable number range, but I don't think we ever got that high
I was
specifically.
about to say I've been in like 500 seconds when with the demo, and I was like, okay, it's just a demo, right? Like I forgive them, it
Right.
is a demo. But then it happened once when we were playing just a regular match.
Mhm.
It didn't make any sense why that was there, but okay. I think it really just broke the straw that broke the camel's back was this Splatfest because it was just me.
Yeah.
I was a solo player. I had long wait times, thankfully, none to the extent of 500 seconds. I'd never had to experience
Right.
that, thank God. But we had a team, and as soon as we win or lost our game or whatever, they would immediately disconnect us from our already team of four. They would just
Yeah.
disconnect. There's a connectivity issue,
Mhm.
which will mean I would have to be queued up again for
Mhm.
another thing. And it sucked. It sucked so bad because, you know, a lot of, like, you see a lot of people coming and going, but it wouldn't matter. As soon as I get out of a game, we are immediately like disconnected and we are
Yeah.
all in a game, another game, which will take longer for the wait times. When before Splatfest, this wasn't an issue.
Mhm.
When I would do like a ranked battle, of any kind, and we stayed in a team of four. Like there was no
Hmm.
connectivity issues. We stayed in a team of four. That so it bugged me that every single time after a match they would just kick me off for
And I
some.
mentioned this to you, like it's not to be like, oh, don't be upset. It's just like I'm not on the programming end. I'm not in Nintendo. I don't know. But just like as like a little devil's advocate or something, admittedly with Splatfest, there is only the turf wars. Only. There's Turf Wars, there's Turf Wars Pro, and
Mm-hmm.
then there's the Tricolor
Mm-hmm.
Battle.
Oh, whichever I'll
That's
talk to.
it.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, while regularly outside of Splatfest, we have Turf Wars, we have Turf Wars with friends, we have
Mm-hmm.
Anarchy Battle series, um, single and friends,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have Anarchy Battles, uh, open,
Mm-hmm.
singles and with friends. So you do kind of have everything spread out more.
Mm.
And I honestly don't know if Grisco's was open during the Splatfest. I
It.
don't think it was.
I mean, they did have an announcement about Grisco, so I think it was.
Okay.
But I do remember that they were still announcing it, which is still the hat, by the way. I'm wondering when they're ever going to update
No, no,
that.
no. It's switched over. It's now
Okay.
these like really dorky 80s style shades.
Heck yeah. I need to go
In
get them.
not the cool kind of way, but they're still
Damn.
kind of cool.
I need to get
They're
them
not in
anyway.
like they're 80s kind of cool, but not in the fabulous kind of way, if that makes sense.
That makes a lot of sense. So another thing that I was really upset is after a while, um,
Mm,
with the connectivity issues, because again, a lot of people would drop and then we would have to be kicked out of game. But I
yeah.
understand like
Hmm.
internet issues for someone on the other side. I get it. Like
Yeah.
you would drop. Like that's a thing that happens. It could be out of your control. My thing is, I had not played with anyone in the fun category, which apparently was the leading category for a while. You know,
Oh yeah.
I have, and they're like, I've only played with fun one time, and I've streamed
Yeah.
it, and that was the only time I ever played with fun. The only team we ever played with Grub is Gear. That's it. And I was like, where's
Yeah.
fun? Is there not like a lot of people who are in fun? No, there is a lot of people in fun, but Grub never got a chance to play with them. What's up with that? At least I didn't.
I
What's up with
don't
that?
think it was as popular as you think it is. Actually, kind of looking at the numbers, I think that the reason they had the preview lead, which was the conch shells,
Yes.
um, which you could obtain by like winning or like leveling up your catalog,
Yes.
in
Mm-hmm.
the week leading up to the Splatfest.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, I think the only reason they were so much higher than everybody else, which still wasn't that much higher, um, was because they just had players that could get to that easier than
Mm-hmm.
Grub and Gear,
Mm-hmm.
or people didn't really announce which team they were going to be on until the Splatfest,
I
because
see.
we announced our group our choice pretty early,
Yeah. Yeah. I was
as
just,
almost as early as we could.
yeah.
Um,
But like,
but I didn't really get to play that much all week, and I don't think a lot of people really picked their team until Splatfest started. Along with who knows how many new people we got, because you were telling me that sales were
oh,
blowing up
yeah.
again for the
Mm-hmm.
Splatfest,
Mm-hmm.
which is understandable.
Yeah. Good for them.
Um, so I think we were misled with the conch shells pretty early on. So when you
I
look at the
see.
results and look at Turf Wars um single, or like just generic Turf Wars,
Yeah.
and not the Pro series, um, we demolished everybody. We had like Gear had like 56% of the win.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, so
I
was
think it was Clout specifically.
Clout.
Well, it's four categories. So there was Conch, Turf Wars, uh, regular and pro, and then maybe Clout. So it's
Yeah,
like it
56%
was
participation.
definitely Turf Wars regular that just gear demolished everybody
Mm-hmm.
in. Like Grub had like only 20% and Fun I think had about like 30 maybe.
I think so.
So
I
I
don't
think it was
remember.
misled and we weren't getting all the information that
Well, it was misleading because again, I haven't played at all with fun. Like I played it one time and that was it.
uh
I played mostly with gear. And then during the when the halftime when
mhm.
tricolor battles are finally up, I could not get in. I
Yeah,
specifically, and this is again what pissed me off. I specifically chose tricolor battles several times, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna limit tricolor battles. Fine, sure, limit it, but not to the
they
point that I
they
had yet to play not one single game, tricolor battle game." And
because what was it? Scissors bitched so bad about it in the demo. Nintendo announced before the official first Splatfest that they were going to cut down on the number of tricolor battles that there
mhm.
was going to be.
I don't think they would have bitched about the tricolor battles. I just think we bitched about losing them because again, if it wasn't the map that we had for the demo, it would have been different. I would have loved to play on the map that they played for this particular Splatfest.
Right, but nobody was giving back feedback on why they were bitching about it. They were just bitching about it. So Nintendo did what they could, and it's just like, oh, if people don't like the tricolor battles, then we'll just cut it down
Oh yeah, I hate that they did that
because people
because that
weren't
doesn't
giving
fix the issue.
feedback.
Yeah, I was like, well, I gave feedback. I knew exactly what it was. I was like, the map sucks. We're literally being attacked on both sides. It's awful. Um,
Right, but you weren't. It's like it's one of those things. Is like you weren't giving feedback. You're like the map sucks because we're getting attacked on
both
two
sides.
different sides.
I would have loved to see
I
how
had
it
to
would
go
have
in
been.
and tell you. I'm like, okay, it's probably because y'all are parallel. Like your team is divided and
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
directly across from one another. There's a huge area um in Sturgeon Shipyard, like from the get go
Mm-hmm.
for second and third place. It's like people weren't giving that feedback though. They weren't specifically telling
Yeah.
Nintendo why it was a problem.
Mm-hmm.
And so they cut back on the tricolor battles for everybody.
Which
I
sucks.
probably only got about 4 tricolor battles in
I
the
didn't even get
day and a half
4.
that they
How the
were
heck?
available.
I didn't even get that much. I couldn't even get one. I'm like, the
I
heck?
will tell you though, as gear, I don't know how this was for grub and I do not know how this was for fun. For gear, there were a couple of times when I was queued up for the tricolor battles that they dropped me for quote insufficient players.
Oh, yes. So, yep. I think I've had that too when I played on Saturday. I,
Mm-hmm.
at that point, I'm not going to lie, I was so upset because I kept getting dropped. I kept getting like queued out of games because again,
Yeah.
around Saturday night when the tricolor battles popped open,
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
had worse connectivity issues. That's when my seconds started getting longer for the wait times and
Yeah.
longer. And at that point, I stopped.
Which kind of makes sense though.
Yeah,
It makes sense that there are going to be because it's now second and third place only get 2 players each, and then you have to find a first place route.
hmm,
Like it kind of makes sense that there are going to be longer wait times for the tricolor battles.
but it wasn't just tricolor battles too.
Right.
It was just
But there's
longer
no
wait
excuse
times.
for them to keep having this problem.
Yeah, it
Also, I
was
don't know if
painful.
you experienced this. I know Kumo has, but were you ever able to get to a times 100 battle?
No, not once.
Same, same. I was able to get two specifically, 2 times 10 battles, and
Nope.
that's all I got for the event.
Oh, I got in times 10 battles, yes, but not
Yeah,
100.
agreed.
But not 100.
But like,
No.
yeah, I was able to get 100 like, a couple of times
Mm.
for the demo.
Oh,
So
yeah,
like, I
same.
don't know what they changed for the demo and the official verse.
Yeah. I think it was honestly with it being the what is it? Official Splatfest, I was so kind of it kind of broke my spirit a little bit on Saturday night,
Yeah.
especially. I was just assuming that it was higher traffic. You know, I couldn't even get into a tricolor battle. The wait times were insane, and I kept dropping. Like it was just
Yeah.
bad. I couldn't, and then I stopped playing. Like I was like, I'm done. I didn't even play Sunday. I think I played one
Yeah.
time on Sunday, and I was like, nah, I'm just done. I it put me off, and I haven't touched it
Yeah.
since. Actually, I lied. I have touched it a little bit just to play. What was it? Ranked
Yeah.
tower control. But then I'm just like I'm done. Like it. I really not to say that I don't like Splatoon. I do, but Splatfest, that particular Splatfest, kind of pissed me off so badly that I needed a
Yeah.
break from it because I was just like, this sucks. As Team Grub, by the way, which I think that I
Fry's
had
getting
more.
shot on.
Yeah, but again, I didn't pick it because of the character. I picked it because I would
Right.
definitely want food
But you
on a
know
deserted
that there
island.
were people that
Of course, they're fans. They stand one of the three.
and it's usually Big Man.
Yeah, and usually big man. Um, I think it's more just I really wish they could fix their connectivity issues. They need to update that. Like that's the one thing that got me so badly. And bring out more weapons that make sense cuz all the weapons are shit other than my
I
tri
do think there
slosher.
was an update sometime like this week,
Mm.
honestly, for Splatoon 3 because today I was playing this morning. I did get booted from a wait time when I got to about the 200 mark for insufficient players, which
Mhm.
I'm grateful for because you would end up getting booted from lobbies in Splatoon 2 if not enough players showed up.
Mhm.
It's happened to me, but it looked like there was like an actual like cutoff time though that it's like okay, there aren't any players coming into this lobby. We're gonna cut it. You just gotta get back in.
Mhm.
I appreciate that it's not like the 500 mark where
Oh
we
god.
have to kick ourselves from it.
Yeah, that one was so painful. But yes. But again, I think it's also because I was playing solo and you had a group of 4. So you had a team.
Yeah,
So it sped up the processes. I wonder if I had maybe just one or two people with me, if that would have changed. You know, if that would have messed up the wait times or something. Because it was so painful in the demo. And thankfully, when I
hmm
was playing solo, it wasn't as bad. But like,
but you're
my
playing
goodness,
solo.
yeah. So they could put me anywhere.
Yeah,
Um.
and
So.
solo's fine, but it's like, and you still had like our group to talk
Mm-hmm.
to, but it's still not the same.
No. I don't know. I think they do need to update it a little bit because the Splatfest was kind of a disappointment, at least for me, in terms of a lot of things. Um,
Yeah,
but again, as much as I've, because we have been raving about Splatoon, and again, I love Splatoon. Don't get me wrong, but this
yeah.
Splatfest kind of shined a light towards a lot of the things that they needed to work on.
Yeah.
Still, um,
I'm personally just mad that like I only have half my game until basically 2 years now.
yeah. I just want better guns and like less
Yeah,
wait
there's
times.
absolutely no reason for them to spread out this game like they did Animal Crossing. Like I
Yeah.
appreciate them wanting to do
I
um the catalog
yeah, I can
every
understand the
season.
catalog. Yeah, that makes
Like
sense.
I can understand I can understand releasing or having more weapons from the very beginning, but not have everything and kind of like release like new concepts for the weapons or something like that. But like severely crippling us like this with the sheer lack of weapons is infuriating.
Mm. It's
I'm just,
beyond infuriating.
yeah. And I
Cause
also feel like the clothing is extremely limited
you
currently.
think?
Like, I think you can get like a fair amount, like more stuff on the mobile app
Mm-hmm.
than you can in game, but still everything feels super limited. I'm also kind of pissed at Grisco's and that the gear you get from working Grisco's is a full fucking month long.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't like that because I was like
It
the
should be
hat.
a week.
Yeah, because wasn't it weak in Splatoon 2?
No, it was by shift. The shift is like 36 hours long.
Oh shit. Oh yeah, that
And then you had
sucks.
like an 18-hour break or
Yeah.
12-hour break between shift. I think it was like 36 and 12. You would have like a 12-hour break in between, and so it would be a new gear when the new shift started. But no, this is like a full month long back to back like maps and gears.
Mm.
I maps and weapons. I'm not the biggest fan of how long the item stays. That's just me.
I mean, I was the one who was telling you about that too. I agree. I was like, I love the hat. Don't get me wrong. It was good. I still love the hat.
Yeah.
But I was like, why is it still the hat? I mean,
Like, and I get wanting to like stick with an item so you can like level up that meter at
mm-hmm.
Grisco's. Because the more you level it up, the better the gear becomes
Mm-hmm.
when you finally pick it up when you're done with your shift.
Yeah.
But like, I don't need a whole ass month. Nobody needs a whole
Nobody
ass
needs
month.
no. No. For a hat?
If
No.
you want a week, okay? Like, ideally, I think the perfect amount is a week.
But yeah, I
Two
agree.
weeks if you're gonna twist my
No,
arm.
no, no. I think a week is good, and this is why. It allows players to be like, okay, I only have a week to obtain this particular item. It would give more incentive for them to go to Grisco's to get that item instead of a whole month when people won't go to Grisco's because they've already gotten the item the first week, like we did.
Right.
Like, it makes no sense. Because now at
Or
this
here's
point,
the
I'm
like,
like,
I get having longer time periods because like it's mostly adults playing this game.
yeah.
And like adults don't always have time to dedicate to playing a game like I can and spend a whole ass weekend playing Splatfest. But like a week should work. 2 weeks, it's probably much more reasonable, like for an adult to work
Mm-hmm.
with. There is no reason for a full month.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
kind of
right
mad
there.
about it.
No, I'm right there with you. I agree. Like because even I was like, this is a lot longer than it should be. Like it shouldn't be
Hmm.
this long for a hat. Because I haven't touched Grisco's until when we all four played together in the stream when like the first week we got it. I haven't touched it ever
Yeah,
since. There was no point. I already have the gear. Like there was no point.
yeah,
Um, and I think that's gonna put Grisco's off unless they fix that as well, which is sad. Yeah, it's just sad, but it is what it is. I
yeah.
think.
And I like the newer maps. I think the newer maps are actually really cool. I prefer like most of them compared to like a lot of the stuff from Splatoon 2.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sad that we don't have Arc Polaris. Also,
Yeah.
I'm very curious when we're gonna end up getting not the Salmon Run, but like the Super Run or whatever they call it, where it like quote unquote invades the city.
Oh yeah, I don't know that. I don't know when that's gonna come out. Agreed. I haven't heard anything about or seen anything about that either. Like, come on.
Same.
Hmm.
Unless it's supposed to be random, like it boils down to I don't know anything about it. All I know is that it's supposed to be a thing. We don't know when it is. We don't know if it's a seasonal thing like Flatfest. We
Mm-hmm.
don't know if it's like a randomized thing like the tricolor battle, like when you're just playing a regular map. Like I don't know. I think another thing that makes it very frustrating is that it's so unknown about a lot of the stuff. Like I've played Splatoon 2 for a long time. I've played Splatoon 1 as well. Like I already know a lot of this stuff, but a lot of this is still like incredibly unknown.
Mm-hmm.
And it's almost illogically unknown to me.
I'm sorry, I'm reading Kumo's comment. They want to
Yeah.
hold back and keep people's interest rather than front loading and losing people with content drought. I don't think they stuck with the balance, but I understand why they're doing it. No, I get that. I understand that because again, that's how Animal Crossing became so popular because they
Like
announced Animal Crossing being, oh, we're gonna slowly in the next 2 years put out content. So you're gonna stick, you're gonna want to buy it, and you're gonna stick to it. You know. Um,
yeah.
but again, it's the timing, the balance with Splatoon. It's not as good because again, Animal Crossing is a little different because
Yeah.
you can have different items for your island, but it's not
Hmm.
a you can't do that with guns for a gun game, a shooter. It
You
it
know,
doesn't
I might
work.
be okay with a lot of this shit if we could do that with the guns.
I'm just like, if we could just have a few more weapons. Again, the catalog and your stuff for your lockers, customization,
Yeah.
that makes sense. Put it out
Yeah.
like every so often. But when you're talking weapons, don't do that with the weapons. It makes no
No.
sense. Because now,
Mm-mm.
we're only
And I
stuck.
get that with the maps. I don't think the maps are fully balanced.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
I don't think they're rotating very balanced,
Mm-hmm.
if that makes sense.
Oh, yeah. City invasion, then the weapons. No, yeah, that too. Um, I just think the timing of it is a little off for Grisco's and stuff too. Just a month is a little too long in my personal opinion.
Here's a counter argument to you, Kumo. Like, open conversation kind of counter argument. And it kind of ties into the tweet I made last night about some of the badges and looking at how you get some of the badges for your name tag.
Mm-hmm.
Is that we have a guaranteed 2 year timeline that after those 2 years, we're not going to have access to a lot of this stuff anymore. So, like, I don't see why we can't have more of this stuff front loaded so we can enjoy it from the get go instead of having almost regret later after we pick it back up after the 2 years mark.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, I'll never be able to get that because I missed it because it was too limited while they were doing it.
Mm-hmm.
That's just me.
What's happening in the game in 2 years? Oh, nothing's happening in the game in 2 years. It's just
But they're
that,
not going to do updates
yeah,
anymore.
they're just not going to do updates. That's all. Um,
So we're not going to, like, after 2 years, we're probably not going to have any more Splatfest. We're not going to have those city invasion salmon runs. We're not going to have, like, from the company, because I do know that, especially with, like, Splatoon 2, the community would still do, like, Splatfest and things like that,
mm-hmm.
but you wouldn't get the full experience.
Mm-hmm. So it creates a sense of urgency so people play it more, buy DLC, cosmetics, all live service games do it. Yes, I can see that though. It creating a sense of urgency goes hand. Um, but again, I think it's certain things. I just don't want them to do it for weapons, essentially, or at least they can speed up the
Yeah.
weapons because, like, let's say this is a first time player and they just hate all the weapons, it will put them off the game. They'd be like, if this is all we
Yeah.
got, what's the point in buying it? You know, they may not have the
And I would
patience to
not
wait.
blame them for that.
No, because again, we've played Splat 2.
Yeah.
So we know there are better weapons in the game.
Yeah.
It's just a lot of new players may not understand that. And it could put them off from picking it up again. At least for me, in terms of weapons, because weapons make it's a shooter game.
Yeah.
Weapons make that game. Like, it just, come on now.
And that's kind of where my comment comes from. It's just like I don't want to have to wait 2 years to get a full game.
Yeah.
I don't, because I don't even have half the game currently.
Oh, yeah, not even. We've only
Like
had the game
I don't know.
for like a full month, I believe.
Yeah,
Yeah,
something like that.
something like that.
Yeah, no, like we'll have like the game for a full month next weekend.
Mm-hmm. They could do what Call of Duty does, have the gun in their equivalent, the battle pass, and after it ends, they make it possible to unlock via challenge. 20 hot shots. Okay, but it would be a little bit more difficult to implement that because you would have to rework a lot of things into the game to put that in there for Splat 3.
And they've already kind of done that for like the badges for your nameplate.
Yes, it's mostly for your badges
Yeah.
or like the little stickers because I got stickers. Um. Anyway, I think that's everything we have covered for today, right? Unless there's anything else you wanted to talk.
More or less. Like I can always go on more about Splatoon 3,
Hmm.
but like that's just the
Those are the things
gist
that
of
we've been
it.
holding in for about a week since the last Splatfest. Because again, I think it just highlighted a lot of things that they needed to work on, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, since that's going, who are you?
I am Abmiki Reedy. You can find me on Twitter. Um, I spell it the same way I spell it here. That's how it is. You can find me kicking Ricey's ass in Splatoon 3 over on her channel. Um, or like either in her comments or Chelser's comments on how they should play Phasmophobia since my computer is still not put together.
In the grave. It's in the grave. We need to revive it.
Yeah, it's in the grave. And who the fuck are you, ma'am?
Oh yes, hello.
Hi, hello.
My name is A Bowl of Ricey. You can find me on Twitch at A Bowl of Ricey, and on Twitter at A Bowl of Ricey. And I'm actually going to be doing a stream today, this afternoon, at around 3 p.m. Central Time. I'm playing. What am I playing again?
Splatoon?
Valorant. No,
Oh.
I'm playing Valorant with a another streamer, Just
Ooh.
Jeremy. So check that out. Check him out. He's currently playing Knockout
Oh.
City. So yeah, I'm gonna be playing at 3 p.m. I just need a nap first,
Okay.
and then we'll play. So yeah, check us out 3 p.m. Central Time at A Bowl of Ricey. Is that everything?
Yeah.
Oh, where can you find us? What the heck? Where are we?
I don't know what the fuck you're thinking, ma'am. You can
Yeah, I just
find
fucking.
us here on Sundays at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time with our opinions. You can also give us your opinions at our Twitter, which is What's Your Opinion 10 or What's Your Opin 10. And hit us up there. One day we'll actually get around to this shit we say we're gonna do, like Snow White.
Mm-hmm.
No promises.
No, no promises. But yes, thank you guys so much for listening in and watching.
Yee.
Thank you for
Yee.
putting your input and sharing your opinions. I know it was kind of all over the place today, but you know, we have ADHD. It tends to happen every single
I was
week.
about to say, there's a reason why we tag it ADHD.
Yeah, for sure. But stay safe, you guys, and we'll see you next week with a new topic. Yeah.
Yee.
Bye, everybody.
Yee.
Bye.
Yee.